Hey, check this out. I'm here in the San Gabriel Mountain area, actually outside of Glendale, California, not far away from La Cañada and the different areas that are at this point in time are having problems with the wildfires. So over that ridge there, on the side there are fires going on. You can see the smoke is it's not that dense right now. It's wispy white smoke, but he had more over that way east towards Altadena and Pasadena, where Altadena was really devastated with the fires. And there's still some fires that are burning in the mountain range. Over that way there, you can actually see the mountains on a clear day, but you can't see any of the San Gables right now because of the smoke that's all in the valley. You can kind of see it almost looks like a cloud where it's just a smoke. And then you have a freeway down here that basically heads towards Glendale, the 2 freeway. But I'm just coming over to show you some native brush on the reason why they have such horrendous fires. But we have areas like this that's nothing but dry underbrush. We haven't had any rain here for a long time. And you can see it's a lot of native plant material down here that is all throughout this canyon. We have a lot of native plants that are doing their thing. I mean, they're native, but this time of year is normally when we have our winter rains, and we haven't had any rain. And you got situations like this where people come in and they throw trash or whatever down in the gullies to get rid of it. There's a couple old mattresses in there, and that doesn't add any benefit when it comes to having to fight a fire, because you got all this material that's ready to go up in flames. And this is a habitat for a lot of wildlife, everything from bobcat, coyote. There have been bear that they've had come down into the community in this area of town, because we're so close to the national forest, the Angeles National Forest, that they actually have black bear that have come down out of the hills and rummaging through people's trash cans and stuff like that. So there's a home up there at the top of the slope. There's a home. And so that house up there is susceptible to having wildlife come in on the patio or whatever, and coyotes taking their dogs or cats and stuff like that. But if you notice this tree right here, it's called a toyon tree, and it's a native, and it's in bloom. We have a lot of berries. There's a lot of birds that love the berries of this tree. But this is a native here in California. And there's another, I think that's a lemonberry right there. And right over here, there's a lemonberry. But there's a lot of native plants that are in here, have native oaks. So like those trees right there, those really dark green trees are actually oak trees. That tree right in the middle that is losing a lot of its leaves or has lost its leaves and the leaves are golden, that's actually a sycamore tree. And so that tree is a standout amongst all the rest of the trees that are in this area here. And it's probably down in there in this gully, it's probably like a little stream or whatever. And sycamores like it where it's wet. So if you notice that those 2 trees are growing like almost down in the gully there. And so their root system is really deep, and it's probably got water down in there for runoff. But that whole ravine comes down and it funnels over to this way, and I think it goes out and over on the other side of the freeway. But there's a park at the top of this hill here, and if you notice also, we have these big power lines, huge power lines, to where it's like a lot of our electricity and stuff like that, it comes through on these transmission lines. And so what happens is when they have these fires, it affects these transformers, and they either some of the components blow up or malfunction. But this is the areas that they have this transmission of electricity. So a lot of places where the power is out or there's no more, it's because of the brush that's around here and the fire and the intensity that can come up. Fortunately, you see how high it is. It's really up there. But when those Santa Ana winds come down out of the mountains, they come down and then they swoop up. And so it's kind of like taking a fan and fanning, like if you have charcoal, you want to get to light up and go, get burning. It's just like fanning charcoal. And with all this dry material out here, you're just asking for problems, big time problems. And look at all that underbrush there. So those are things that have been mentioned, that there's no cleanup, there's no maintenance of this type of areas. I mean, I'm not sure if this is state property or if this is private property. I think it's state property because it's a park up the hill. And so like all this underbrush has not been cleared. Look at that. I mean, that right there, that is a total tinderbox waiting to go off. That grouping of dead, it's a dead tree. And yeah, probably the animals or whatever, the wildlife, they love it because it's a nice place to hide out. But from a standpoint of having a fire come through here, I mean, all those houses and stuff on the ridge, they're basically toast because of stuff like this down here. And all along the trail here, as you go over the trail and go up the hill again, this is all dried underbrush where a lot of stuff could be cleared out. I mean, it takes money. Yeah, it's not free. It takes money to do this, but there's a lot of money that's been spent on a lot of different projects and different things that probably could be allocated to something more sensible in the long run as weed and forest mitigation and or just maintenance period. So I just thought I would take some time out and show you here in Southern California what we're dealing with. Look at this. See these tracks? See the size of that track right there? That's the size of, that's a cat. That's probably a bobcat that's up here. But you can see here the track marks as it goes down. Here's another track mark right here. Check that out. See, that's a paw print. that's not your average Felix the cat. That's a serious size mountain lion or bobcat. And it's coming up out of the, let's see if I can follow a little bit. Yeah, you can see here where it's been walking around. Wow. All over in here. It's been just kind of scoping out the area. So it probably has a den somewhere in this area here. They've been known to come into the community, but that's just showing you how close we are to wildlife. And when this fire, guess where that wildlife goes? It goes further into the city. And so we have more problems and more challenges. But I just want to share this with you today and say thanks for watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit that notification bell so when videos like this come out, you can give your comments and let me know what you think. And share with your friends. Thanks a lot. See you next video.